welcome back, race fans. This is Donnie here with Right Rear Racing. We're going to bring you week number 4 of the North America Short Track Racing Series. And week number 4 is going to bring us to Lucas Oil for the factory stocks with the Eagles and the Casinos, as they're finishing up their hot laps now. And since they're finishing up their hot laps, the way that tonight's races are going to work, they're doing their hot laps. It's going to be like a true dirt fashion. They're going to do their hot laps. Then they're going to be randomized into heat races, followed by the A main. It looks like we're going to have the biggest field of the night with 11 drivers. We're going to have some newcomers coming in here. And that's going to be Tyler Wortman in the number 29. And I believe that's it. But we have more people that haven't been here on a regular basis, and they're all here now. And I do apologize for that number 3 car of Dylan Fike. I've been saying his last name wrong for the last 2 weeks. And before we get the heat race action going, we'd like to thank S&T Promotions LLC for all they do for the iRacing community and for this league. And we'd also like to thank Tina's Creations for what they do for the league here. And it looks like the hot laps are finishing up. And it looks like we're going to have 3 heat races tonight. And again, this is a post-broadcast race. We cannot show the grid until the feature. For heat race number 1. You're going to have that number 51 of Stephen Cochran starting inside pole. Outside of him is going to be the number 64 of Robert. And starting inside row number 2 is going to be the number 9 of Dylan Breeden. And starting outside of him is going to be that number 24 of Michael Enox. And last week, if you watched the race, we had a flip count of 12 at Lernerville. Let's see if we can get that flip count a lot lower this week here. And the lights should be going off of the pace truck. And the 51 of Stephen Cochran is going to be leading us to the green flag. The way this league works is iRacing green for the initial start. And after that, it's on the leader for the restarts. As the pace truck pulls off in turn number 2, Stephen Cochran is leading us on the back straightaway with Robert on the outside of him. We still have that Dylan Breeden at number 9 and Michael Enox in 24 all stacked up. As we're getting the green flag, Stephen Cochran is going to look on the inside in the 51 machine with the 64 still on the outside of him. And coming out of turn number 2, 51 is going to be taking the lead, followed by the 64. 64 is still on his heels, ready to go. Here comes the number 9 in your picture. That's going to be your third place car, that number 9. Stephen Cochran is going to lead lap number 1. And here we go. Coming out of turn number 2, Stephen Cochran still leading. 64 is trying to find a way around the track here. To find momentum and get past the 51. Lap number 2 is down, as that's going to be 10 lap races here. And it looks like we got 2 separate battles here, as the 64 and the 51 is going to be battling for the lead, as this was what your feature looked like last week between the 64 and 51. We got contact back here on the front straightaway as the number 9 of Dylan Breeden has ended up on his lid. That's going to be flip number 1 of the night. Flip number 1 of the night, and he's in the pits. And it looks like Michael Enox is pulling into the pits as well. So that's going to be lead 51 and the 64 out on the track. Again, guys, if you are watching on Facebook, please like and follow. You can also go over to our YouTube channel and please subscribe over there as well. We couldn't do this without any of you fans, and the more likes and follows, the more I'm likely to do this for y'all. Looks like we're going to be stacking them up. As the lights are off, and you see that pace truck pull it off in turn number 2, as it's going to be the 51 and the 64. Both the 9 and the 24 are both still in the pits. So we're going to have a 2-car battle. As the 51 can start anywhere in turn number 4 whenever he likes. And we're green flag racing. That 64 is getting a better shot. 51 ran into the inside or outside wall on the front straightaway. I don't know what happened to 64. He went in too hot. And here comes 51 taking the lead back out of turn number 2. This is going to be Stephen Cochran taking the lead. Entering turn number 3 with Robert in the 64 machine falling behind. And it looks like number 9 of Dylan Breeden pulled out on the track. And it looks like he is 3 laps down, I believe. As we're getting a checkered flag this time around with 51 taking the win. We got time to show you the results here. As it was 51 of Stephen Cochran taking the win. It's going to be Robert in that 64 machine finishing second. Dylan Breeden in that number 9 machine was 3 laps down. And Michael Enox is 6 laps down in 4th place as heat race number 2 takes the field. And starting inside pole is going to be the number 49 of Patrick Royalty. On the outside of him is going to be the number 30 of Mike Menez. Starting inside row number 2 is going to be the number 74 of Donnie Watts. Outside of him is going to be the number 29 machine of Tyler Wortman. He's the newcomer for the league. This is his first race in these cars. And as you can tell in this heat race number 2, you have your casinos, which is the 49, 30, and the 29. And then the Eagle in that 74 machine. As the pace truck pulls off, the 49 of Patrick Royalty is going to be leading us to the green flag coming out turn 4 as they go down the back straightaway, entering turn number 3. And we're green flag racing. And the 49 is going to get the run. 30 and 49 made contact, enter turn number 1. 74 is going to look on the inside, try to look for the lead coming out turn number 2. As 74 has the lead going into turn number 3. The 49 is going to pass him on the outside and maintain that lead for the first lap. And here comes 74 still looking down low. That's going to be your battle for the lead between the 74, the 90, and the 49. And the 30 and the 29 are sitting there battling back there. That's going to be battle for third. As it looks like Patrick Loyalty in that 49 machine is walking away from Donnie Watts in that 74 machine. Here comes 30 looking on the inside of Donnie Watts out of turn number 4. And this is going to be your battle for a second between the 74 and then the number 30. As they exit turn number 4, I believe it's 3 laps down of the 10-lap race. And looking at my lap times, it looks like Mike is faster than Donnie. As he's closing that gap, he's going to look down low in turn number 1 on Donnie Watson, that 74, as they go side by side down the back straightaway. Enter turn number 3. Donnie's going to get that momentum in 3. And might let off a little bit. Looks like where Donnie got the momentum. Oh, and Donnie's doing a bicycle. Here comes 30 looking to capitalize off of it. Looks like Tyler Wortman may have had internet connection issues as he's no longer on the server. It's going to be Patrick Royalty in that 49 machine still leading us. Followed by that 74 in second and the 30 in third. And we got the white flag to have one more time around. Patrick Royalty is going to be coasting around as he has a good gap on second place as we watch Patrick Royalty come out turn number 4. He's going to be getting the checkered flag, followed by Donnie Watts, and then followed by Michael Menez. I think I'm saying his name correctly this time. I'm not for sure. I'm bad on last names. As we take a look at our results here. Hold out the top 3, and it's going to be Tyler Wortman in that number 29 machine that's going to finish 4th. As heat race number 3 takes the field. And starting on the pole for heat race number 3, this is going to be your number 62R of Aaron Huffhacker. On the outside of him is going to be the number 3 of Dylan Fike. And starting third and rounding out your field is going to be the number 42 of Stephen Miller. All right, the pace truck lights are off, and the pace truck pulled off in turn number 2. As 62 is going to lead us down the back straightaway. On the outside of him is going to be the 3. It's going to be a 3-car battle for the 10 laps. So they're going to be getting the green flag coming out of turn number 4. And we're green flag racing. Looks like 62 is going to get the run on the inside. The number 3 pushed up in that Dylan Fike car. And Stephen Miller is going to be taking over second place. As they're Aaron Huffhacker in that 62R led lap number 1. It's still going to be a close battle here as the 42's on his tail. Enter turn number 3. And coming out turn number 4 for the second time, it's still going to be Aaron Huffhacker in that 62R leading lap number 2. Yes, Stephen Miller still in second, that 42 machine. He's trying anything to gain momentum and close that gap. And here comes Dylan Fike. He's trying to look to down low of the 42 machine with lap number 3 down. Again, this is going to be your battle for second between these 2 cars here, as Aaron Huffhacker is still leading the race. I believe we are 4 laps down of our 10-lap race. And there goes Aaron Huffaker entering turn number 3. And he has about a 1.3 second gap on these two back here. And we should be halfway through this 10-lap event. We're going to keep it on these two here since these two are racing side by side, or supposed to be in side by side, as there should be 4 laps left in this heat race. As Dylan Fike's trying to make any kind of moves to pass that 42 car. Then that turn number 2. It's still going to be Aaron Huffaker in that 62R, 42 of Stephen Miller, followed by Dylan Fike in that number 3 machine. And it should be 2 laps left as that 3 machine looks down low, trying to get that momentum built up down there. And we're getting the white flag this time around. And coming out, or entering turn number 3. As he's coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be the 62R of Aaron Huffaker, followed by Stephen Miller, and then the number 3 of Dylan Fike is going to round out your field. And that's going to be the conclusions of our heat races and take us into our 11-car main event. And that grid is not correct, so we'll call it as we see it. Trying to find. And your heat race number 1 winner is going to be the number 51 of Stephen Cochran. He's going to be leading us on the pole. Outside of him is going to be the number 49 of Patrick Royalty. Inside row number 2 is going to be the 62R of Aaron Huffaker. Starting on the outside of him is going to be the number 64 of Robert Charette. Inside row number 3 is going to be your 74 of Donnie Watts. Outside of him is going to be the number 42 of Stephen Miller. It looks like it's going to be that number 9 of Dylan Breeden on the inside row number 4. Outside of him is going to be the number 30 of Michael Menez. Then we have the number 3 of Dylan Fike starting inside row number 5. Outside of him is going to be the number 24 of Michael Enox. And rounding out your field is going to be the number 29 of Tyler Wortman. As the pace truck's pulling off, we're going to be, the 51 is going to be leading us to down the back straightaway and out of turn number 4 for the green flag. It's going to be a 20-lap main event. And we're green flag racing. As the 51 got a little swirly there on the start, he's still looking inside on the 49 and leading out of turn number 2. It's going to be side-by-side racing down the back straightaway. This for your battle for your lead with the 51 and the 49. As they come out of turn number 4, still side-by-side. It's going to be Patrick Royalty leading lap number 1. The 51 of Stephen Cochran is still right there looking on the inside. Again, this is going to be your battle for the lead as we have 2 laps down. And Stephen Cochran is going to fall in behind the 49 as Robert Charette in the 64 is sitting there in 3rd. You have Aaron Huffaker in 4th and Donnie Watts in 5th. And you got a side-by-side battle back there between Stephen and Dylan. And I looked up there on the screen, it looks like 64 of Robert Charette was looking to try to make a move on the 51 machine. You go back further in the field, 42 machine's running a totally different line than everyone else. He's trying to get that high side moving, as looks like we're going to go possibly 3 wide. And he's getting that high line moving a little bit there. As he has that momentum coming out of turn number 4, he's trying to, this is going to be your battle for 7th. The battle for 7th here. As it looks like he slipped up. Michael Enoch's in that 24 machine, moved up to 8th. And he's trying to make a move on the 30 machine of Michael Minis. It's still going to be Patrick Royalty in the 49 machine leading the race, with Stephen Cochran in second. We got a side-by-side battle for the 4th position between the 62R and Donnie Watson at 74. As we're going out of turn number 2, it's still going to be Aaron Huffaker maintaining that 4th position. And here goes Donnie exiting turn number 2. And down the back straightaway, the 74 car looks like it's going to take over that 62R of Aaron Huffaker. Aaron Huffaker pushed up. He's hitting the wall, and here goes 74 of Donnie Watts is going to take over the 4th position. There goes Robert Charette in that 64 machine. He's still maintaining the 3rd position as we're getting halfway to go this time around. It's still going to be Patrick Royalty in first with Stephen Cochran in second. Robert Charette seems like he closed that gap. On your screen should be the 51 and the 64. That's going to be your 2nd and 3rd cars. And behind the 64 is still the 74 of Donnie Watts, with the number 9 of Dylan Breeden and the 62R of Aaron Huffaker. That's going to be your battle for the 5th position between these 2 cars here on your screen now. And it looks like Stephen Cochran's closed that gap on that leader. Stephen Cochran's trying to change up his line, trying to find something to maintain and pass. And as soon as I say that, he slipped up. He's pushing off the track. And here comes Robert Charette on the 64, looking down low. The 64 is going to take over 2nd position with 6 laps left. And here comes the 74 car. This is going to be your battle, 3-car battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And we have 5 laps left. It's going to be Patrick Royalty in the 49 machine, followed by the 64 of Robert Charette, and the 51 of Stephen Cochran for your top 3. As you look at the 51 on the inside of the 64, 51 still down on the inside. He's trying to get that momentum, trying to make that move on the 64 on the inside there. Coming out turn number 4. With 3 laps left, this is still a side-by-side battle. We're looking to possibly make it 3 wide. And they're side-by-side. This is battle for 2nd place between the 64 and the 51 as they go down the back straightaway. They're in turn number 3. 64 still going to have that momentum on the outside with 2 laps left. We got that popsicle sticks going. And the 74 is trying to make a move on the outside of the 51 for the 3rd place. With the white flag coming out now. It looks like someone blew their motor. It looks like that number 3 of Dylan Fike. And with that, this 51 is making a move on the inside of Robert Charette. And they're going to be side-by-side for come down turn 4. It's going to be the 51 taking over 2nd position with the 64 of Robert Charette. Finishing 3rd, Donnie Watts. And that 74 machine finishing 4th. And Patrick Royalty ended up winning the race. And let me go ahead and take that off for you. And so we go over the results for today's race. As you see the top 3 on the front straightaway, you have Patrick Royalty in that 49 machine, Stephen Cochran in the 51 machine. You have Robert Charette in that 64 machine, finishing top 3. You have Donnie Watts in the 74 machine finishing fourth, with Aaron Huffaker in the 62R finishing fifth. Dylan Braden in the number 9 finishing sixth, with Michael Menez finishing seventh. Michael Enoch's finishing eighth. Stephen Miller finishing ninth. Tyler Wortman in 10th. And then, as you've seen there on the last lap, Dylan Fike ended up blowing the motor, and he's finishing 11th. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching this week's series with the North America Short Track Series. And as I have you over here, we are going to pull up the schedule. We're going to figure out, see if we know where we're running at next week. Have the schedule up, but we will be bringing week number 5. Will be broadcasted here on Right Rear Racing. I do know the top 2 in points is going to be the 74 of Donnie Watts, followed by the 51 of Stephen Cochran. I cannot tell you what the points are, but I will say that it's a close battle, as I don't remember what they are off the top of my head. And we're at the halfway point. We have 4 more races in these cars. Please jump down in the comments. Tell us what you like about these. If you're interested, please reach out to North America Short Track Series on Facebook. Again, give us a like, follow, and share on both of our platforms of YouTube and Facebook. Tonight, we only had 1 flip, which is a lot better than what we did last week at Lernerville. Again, thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you next time here on Right Rear Racing.